I'm in Salad and I saw Seven Samurai. It is directed by Akira Kurosawa, and if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. First of all, I just want to point out that you just have to go watch this movie for me to fully explain what's going on, because I'm not able to fully explain what's going on beat to beat, but I think this movie is totally 100% worth your time. The 3-hour and 25-minute runtime is a little bit intimidating. I certainly got intimidated by it upon starting to watch it, but I immediately was like, oh my goodness. First of all, this is a great film, and let me tell you why. We have this village who's being raided by bandits constantly, and I love the exposition. We just got a bunch of bandits coming, and then we got a bunch of scared farmers, and they're all crying. And one of them is like, we gotta kill them all. We gotta kill them all. How are we gonna do it? And it's like, we gotta gather up a bunch of samurai. And so we're in the samurai recruiting process, and there's this one samurai which I love. Okay, my favorite samurai is Kikishio. Oh my goodness, he just seems so angry the entire time. He's like, ha 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 ha, okay, I'm a drunk, I'm walking in on this samurai meeting all drunk and stuff. And then he's like, at the next day, he's like scaring the villagers, because he's like, y'all freaking come calling to help just because after this warm welcome that you give us, which is not a welcome at all, you're scared. Ha ha, got him. And he's like mocking these farmers the entire time, which I love. Oh my goodness, I love this guy. He seems like a freaking maniac. There's also Katsushiro, which is in love with this farmer chick, and the farmer chick's father is like, you're not allowed to date samurai because they just pillage and have their way with the women. And I'm like, that is an understandable fear. However, this guy genuinely seems to be in love with this chick, just progressively throughout the movie. He starts interacting with her. He meets her first in the field of flowers, and he's like, "What are you doing? You're a man. You're supposed to go. You know what the heck are you doing?" And I'm like, she is clearly not a man because she's picking flowers. But she identifies herself as a man before he does a little tackle on her and ends up feeling her titty, and then is like, oh, she's a woman. I felt like I violated her. There's 5 other samurais, which I unfortunately don't remember their names. Please kill me in the comments below. But they have a visual memory in my head. There's a guy who's wearing this mark on his chest. He's a cool guy. I like him. They each have different personalities. Then there's the leader type. He's stoic and he's chill. And then we got a little sensitive, friendly guy. And then you got another guy. Honestly, the last samurai that I'm mentioning is probably the least memorable one. I'm sorry if you're a fan of them, but all the samurais have different personalities. But the ones that I mentioned stuck out to me the most. A bunch of samurai is hired. We got a bunch of samurai, and they're like, hey, we gotta put a bunch of these defenses up for these bandits to come through. And I love the journey of exploring how the village reacts to having to put up these fences. They're first initially scared. They seem to be big scaredy cats, but when it comes to defending their town, they're like, okay, we'll entertain this thought of defending ourselves, because they're not in the business of defending themselves clearly. They clearly need some samurai's help. I love all the camera movements. I love all the acting. I especially love all them samurai swords and all their the samuraiing stuff happening. There's this one really cocky guy who's like, oh, let me defeat you with a sword. And he's he does this thing, and it's what the heck are you doing? You're just leaving yourself open. And so he does that, but it's enough room for the other guy to just be like, phew, man, you're dead, you got him. And I'm like, I guess he didn't deserve to be a samurai because his ego is massive. It was so big. Anyway, they're a big old building. They're building more and more stuffs. They're flooding all the fields. That's what I call farm fields. I do also like how there's like 3 houses on the edges, and they're like, we gotta abandon these houses. Well, we gotta deal with that later. And I also like seeing like all the tactical, the practical senses of like where to put all the fences, where to put like the water at. Oh, we got the mountains, we gotta put these types of fences here. We got the freaking river, well, we gotta flood the farms and make sure like the horses can't go through. None of just like any stray bandits can't go through. I love it, honestly. This is war planning done right. Do they ever do it one-handed? Like, I guess I'd have to have really good control for that. I guess they also do a little slice and dice. There's a lot of interpersonal stuff going on while we have this defenses building, and it seems they're having a little chillax after the defenses are built. But hey, you gotta be wary, because that's when you're whenever you're least expecting an attack, that's when they're gonna get your back. Got him. Immediately, I'm just like looking at the screen, staring at the screen. My eyes are glued to the screen. This is not like a 3-hour movie like Avatar, where I'm just like falling asleep during the entire time and like forcing myself to stay awake. No, this has me engaged the entire time. Oh wow, it's the bandits. The bandits are coming, and I'm like, all right, you guys go get them bandits. First of all, I do like how there's an intermission. That's what it's called. Intermission. It allowed me to have a little chill time without having to pause the movie because the movie is so long. Now it's time for them to attack. We got a bunch of horses coming down from the mountains. Oh, they gotta go to the front. Oh, they're gonna go to the back. Oh, someone got arrowed. Got them. You got a couple of muskets. We gotta get them. We gotta slice and dice them one at a time. Phew, phew. And I also do like the running tally of all them guys that they get off the back of the horses. It takes several days for them to be like getting an advantage. Well, they naturally have the advantage because the bandits are caught off guard. But then when the bandits are like more clever, they're like, okay, let's attack at night. But then they get got, some of them get wounded, a lot of them get killed. And then let's do multiple days of on end of war, fighting over this village. And here I am just like, if I were these bandits, I would stop. I would clearly just stop raiding this village. They've gotten like, I think the original number was like 48 or something. It was somewhere in the 40s or something. They had a lot of bandits, and now we're like down to 13. And I'm like, dude, you can pick another village. You're running low on men. I think this is pretty irresponsible to think that you can still overtake this village. I really like the part where Kikishu is like, hey, I'm just gonna abandon my post without telling anybody. I'm gonna like sneak up on this musket guy. I'm gonna take like one of the guys that I got, put his switch the face masks, just like chill up next to him like, hey, how's it going, guy? And that guy's like completely disarmed, and then he grabs a musket from him. But he attracts a bunch of attention. He's like, oh, we gotta battle some more. You only lose some men, which is sad. I'm really sad that we lost some men. But hey, we got one more fighting to do. Oh, let's let all of them come in. Let's just all of them come in and absolutely almost dominate. I'm glad they don't absolutely dominate. In this battle, 4 samurai are killed, including my favorite, Kikushu. Kikushu. Oh my goodness, I had to, hold on. Kikushu. Kikishu gets got, but not before, he gets shot by one of the muskets, but not before he charges in. One of the gentle dudes has like made his way into where all the women and children are, and he's just like, ooh, I'm gonna get you, and he like gets him. I'm like, yes, awesome. I'm sad he's dead. He has a nice butt. I made a lot of note of that. He has a pretty nice butt. But hey, I just sad for him, and all the sad for all the samurais got. But I do like the flag that they made. I do like how he's a triangle, and I found it hilarious when like that guy who made like the samurai flag included 6 circles and a triangle, and it seemed like he was offended by the fact that he was represented as a triangle. But I think triangles are like the strongest shape they're stronger at least than frickin' circles, okay? And he's distinctly different from everyone. Like, he wasn't initially, like, brought in the samurais. They all thought of him as a drunk, but he absolutely proved himself. I honestly think the ending is a little bit too long for me. I would have preferred if it ended on the flag, but there is like a few more minutes of them be like, oh, well, the peasants won, but we lost because we lost 4 samurai. But I'm like, this is a great resume. I mean, there's no resumes in the 1500s, but you know, I guess it's a good thing to tell people, like, hey, I defended an entire village from bandits with like my comrades here. I'm like, okay, I like this. I like this movie a lot. This movie ends on a pretty nice note. It ends in like the ha da 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 ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da, but kind of the jambalaya is the first thing that came to my head. That's not the right word. Jumbly? What word am I thinking of? You know how they have a little party at the end? What is that called? Anyway, this movie is amazing. The blocking is great. The shot composition, the acting, the environment. I felt like I was there the entire time, and I felt like I was spending a few months with them. And this is a very appropriately length movie. I was not bored at any point except for the very, very end when I knew what was happening. They're all having a nice, jolly time. That part I was a little bit bored by, but otherwise, I thought this movie was excellent. I gotta give this movie like a solid, 9.5 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. YouTube really likes that. If you want to fast track a movie review, you can do that for $20 redeems at patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of all these daily movie reviews, go to this link tree. Find the way you can help support the daily grind of all these daily movie reviews. So you can go here. And until next time, mint salad. So I'll see you later to my salad croutons and big bits. Oh wow, there's a bunch of samurai guys over here. They're all coming in.